So, welcome to the workshop of Arsenalen. And this is off-site, so it's not close to the museum, but here is where we do our maintenance and restoration work. And we are here to present one of the projects that we did last year, the German LK2 tank that was bought to Sweden in 1921. 10 tanks were actually smuggled from Germany to Sweden as tractor parts. Germany was not allowed to sell tanks after the First World War, and Sweden was not allowed to buy them, so they had to do a deal that wasn't too open. And this is one of the 10 tanks that we decided to restore. And last year it ran for the first time in approximately 8 years. Unfortunately, we had some difficulties after a few test runs, so we decided to bring it back to the workshop to adjust a few of the things that we have found. And if you compare with the tank that's been standing for 80 years, it's not so difficult to understand that it could be a few issues that would raise during the line. So now we have a few things that we have found, and we will put it together and again bring it back to the museum as soon as we can, is the hope. And with me I have Lars-Erik, who is one of our volunteers, and he was in charge of the project as the coordinator to get all the things done during the process of about 5 years that we worked on it when we started in 2012, slowly, and then we moved on. So we will talk a bit about the tank and the specifics and what's interesting. The most interesting for me is that no one has seen a tank like this moving for a very long time, and there is a lot of things that we had no knowledge about because the information in manuals, etc., are very, very limited. So it was a challenge to find out how the tank actually works and how it was put together, and to be able to show that to people.
What do you think is your greatest resources in finding that information?
The biggest resource that we had was the manual, which is a very simple manual in a few pages. This is a copy of it. And there were only a few text lines, and we also had a few drawings. Not the best ones, but with these we could figure out how it was put together and how it should work.
Excellent. How long did it take to find that?
Well, it took some time to figure out, and when we put the steering mechanism together, we didn't really understand from the beginning how it worked. We thought we knew how it should work as on a modern tank, but it was different.
Yeah. What we have a spare steering gear, and which is here, and that was when we start with. We took it as we took it in small pieces, put it together, and see how it really works and how we should do it. And that was the reason. Had we didn't do that, I don't know if we had it for working at all, because it is some very, very strange things in this. Because it doesn't work as a normal clutches. It is on a whole different way. So we have very, very happy to have that to train on how we shall adjust it, how it works, and so on.
The power from the engine goes in here, so this is along the tank. It all goes in there, and there's the clutch for one side and at the rear. There's another clutch for the other side, and in between there is the differential to get out to the different gears on
And
each track.
this is steering for the right side, and that for the left side. So it is a very, very strange construction.
We had, the tank had no engine from the beginning. This is a rebuilt tank with a Scania engine from the beginning. And for some reason that engine was removed sometime in the 1940s. So it was lacking the engine, but thankfully we have a close cooperation with the Scania Museum in Södertälje, and they had a spare engine that we could have. So we restored that engine and put it back in the tank again. But it was not that easy because the engine itself is a truck engine from 1920s. So that was not a big deal, but if you put it into the tank, you need to have the cooling system, the fuel system, etc. to work, and there were a few bits and pieces that were missing. So we had the gearbox and we had a radiator, but everything in between was missing. So we had to invent things that we needed. So if you could point out a few of the things that actually was a bit of a problem.
The problem was, it is this, because we have two fans on it. And one of these fans is mounted directly here on the engine, and the other on this stick here. And here we have a cooler, so we have one fan in each boxes here. And the fans, we haven't the fans, so all the arrangements to mount the fans, it is invented by us. We do that ourselves.
So the only thing we had was a few pictures, drawings in the manual that, well, you could guess how it should look, but we didn't really know how it worked. And from the beginning we thought that the fan mounted on the engine was in the same direction as one of the radiators, so it would line up, but no, it didn't. So we had to move it a bit to the side. So that was one of the big problems that we had to work out to find a way to make it work together.
But we have drawings and some rough drawings about it and an overview drawing, and with help of that it is possible to see how we have fixed it, how it was from the beginning, and that was we have used to rebuild it.
So I think the cooling system and the steering gear is the things that we are probably most proud of to have figured out how it worked. But another thing was also the running gear, which was a bit different. With a normal tank you have different road wheels, and the suspension could be springs or it could be torsion bar or different variants of suspension. On this we have a totally different setup. If you bring the manual, we could show how it looks. So on each side we have boxes with 4 wheels in each box. And these boxes is sort of an independent road wheel setup with springs inside. But there are some suspension, even if the suspension moves about 1 or 2 inches. That's the most. On each each side you have these boxes with 4 road wheels in each. So there are a lot of road wheels. And within these boxes there are also springs for each wheel. So they can travel approximately 2 inches at the maximum. And the tracks, they are put together with there's a pin, and behind the pin there is a bush. So each track is 3 parts. The track link, the bush, and the pin. We have a company that helped with making new bushes and new track pins, so we could replace them, and that was BAE System who helped with doing that. Otherwise it would have been a bit difficult because they were so worn, all the track pins.
Was it relatively complete with the suspension system and the tracks when you had started?
Yes, it was. But it had been standing out for 10, 20 years in the rain, and then moved into the older museum where it had been standing for another 20 years. So it had been stuck for a long time. Well, that took some time to do it, since there are so many track links and all the road wheels. So I think we worked with that for at least 2 years or so.
Wow.
In total.
How many staff do you guys have working on this project?
It was 5 to 6 person who working with permanent, but totally it is 44, I think,
Wow.
people who was involved in more or less.
So we have been working 1 night a week and 1 weekend a month with the project during these 5 years.
Wow.
And at the beginning, we, as all projects, you are quite enthusiastic and think it will go quite fast, and then you do more and more, and you realized the work expands. So during the last year, it was a bit more hectic because we have decided we need to be finished. So the last 6 months, we worked a bit more than we had done previously.
Okay. Was there ever a time where you thought you might give up?
No.
There was never a challenge where you ever thought like, maybe.
No.
No, not giving up, but there were times that we were thinking, how should we?
Why have we doing?
How should we solve this? Why did we start?
We can say from beginning the planning was 3 years, but it's been 5. So it's been a lot of more work when you think, and that is because we have the vehicle is putting down in all small pieces, everything in blasted, painted, and put it together, and that takes time.
Is there a target? What's the next target date for when this project that you would say is complete?
We hope we will have it ready for our tank day in September.
Yeah.
That's the goal, and then we have a few requests from other countries that it would be interesting to bring it to another museum and to show it somewhere else. So hopefully in 2020 we will have it on a sort of European tour perhaps.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.